So we'll go ahead and start with your opening statements first. And Candidate Robinson, you have 2 minutes to share with the audience whatever you would like to share.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really my pleasure to be here. It's really good to see so many of my friends and relatives here. I'm not going to bore you with my life history and all that. I'm going to tell you that it took me about 40 years to reach this point to where I made the decision to run for tribal president. And the reason is because I've observed the administrations in the past, and I've seen what works, and I've seen what doesn't work. And I believe that you're going to agree with me by the end of this evening that in order for our tribe to succeed, in order for our president to succeed, we have to bring an approach of unity. We have to bring an approach of not just act sovereign, but to be sovereign. We have to tighten up our administration. And I think that the people have to be involved in the process. A lot of the people feel that decisions are made and they don't know why. They don't know what the decisions are until after the fact. I don't know that, but I want to bring clarity into the administration. I want to bring into the administration a good reasoning of why decisions are made and how decisions are made. I think we have a lot of strengths in our tribe. We have strengths as far as we have over 10,000 tribal members. We have 444,000 acres. We've got our water, we've got our land. We've got everything that we need to be successful, but we are still dependent upon programs. I want to work with our people and with the Tribal Council to guide us to true economic independence. Thank you.
And we ask that you hold your applause, please, so that we can keep moving forward. We can applaud at the end.
Woka nisto nashve, wopomitena visanista. Name is Jace Killsback. I've been on council for 8 years. I first got elected when I was 25. And I decided to run for president, first of all, because I'm of age now, I guess. 30 is the requirement. But I've survived 3 administrations. I've survived a number of councils, different demographics, different backgrounds, different policies. And what I've seen is a major lack of leadership, a major lack of vision for our people. And I've seen that on the council floor in some of the decisions we've made and some of the decisions I've opposed. And I think there's a need for a real change in the culture of our government, a real change for the betterment of our people. My vision is I see our families getting stronger. I see our children graduating from high school and going to college or getting a skill. I see them coming back home with a commitment to service to help our people. I think a lot of people forget that this job is a public service and not self-service. And I want to change that. A lot of people talk accountability. I think I've proven that with my record. A lot of people talk change, and I've proven that also with my record. One of the major things I have developed that hasn't been implemented is our principles to development. And those include having the people being in the decision-making process, making sure it benefits them, and making sure it benefits generations to come. I also see a real need to revitalize our culture and our language, and with that comes values and principles. So that is why I'm running for president. I hope.
Hold your applause, please.
Well, I mentioned in the beginning, health is important to me. And a priority of mine would be to change the paradigm of how we deal with healthcare and health on our reservation. And that would include bringing a cultural component into our programs that will allow for us to begin a healing process. We heal our spirits, we can heal our bodies. There's epidemics of diabetes and health disparities, and I would look at health as one of the priorities. The other priority, of course, is going to be economic development. And I think that we are on the right path with the current passage of our corporate charter, which creates a business board separate from council, so we're getting politics out of council. And if we could get politics out of business, if we could move forward with that concept and look at other tribes and what they're doing in the area of economic development to create jobs and businesses for our people, including small businesses. And third, really important, I think it's cultural revitalization. I think I really feel that our language is in a crisis. I made the comment before that add 45 years to the last Cheyenne speaker, youngest, and that's when you see our language being gone. And I really feel that it's important that we look at, for our younger generations, the revitalization of our culture. Three priorities that I would focus on first, and those include actual projects also. I think infrastructure is important for economic development. I think contracting services for IHS is important to healthcare, and I think the development of a museum and cultural center to revitalize our culture is also important. Those are three specific projects I would look at. Thank you.
One of the things we have to recognize right now is the fact that our government is living solely on grants, contract monies. We have very little money coming in from on our general fund. So we have the indirect costs. We know that the government, the federal government, who we're dependent on for most of these grant monies, they're in big trouble. They're getting ready, and they're proposing an 8% cut across the board. That's going to not only hurt our tribe, but that's going to cripple it. So before we can do any major programs on housing, on health, on education, on any of these areas, number one, we are operating without a plan. There is no plan in place. We should, for a business of this size, we should be operating with a 30-year plan, and we're not. We don't have a vision of where we're going. And these are important. So the planning has got to be a priority. And one of the things I planned, the way I'm going to address that is to hire a planner. Every program on a reservation has somebody in that planning capacity. We want to pull these people together to establish a reservation-wide plan, and then what we do for employment is going to affect the health, is going to affect the education. All these things are going to work together. And we need to hire a grant writer to get the money in, go after foundation monies. The last thing is we need to make our programs, our tribal programs, more efficient. We need to make sure that we're doing what we say we're getting funded for, and that the people are receiving the services